Welcome to Learn from Leaders. I'm Jim Proppe, the managing partner of Plant Moran. I recently had the pleasure of talking with Roger Myers, President and CEO of Presbyterian Villages of Michigan, which manages 30 senior living communities and serves over 4,500 seniors. Roger's done an incredible job. In fact, just last year, PVM was named Best Managed Nonprofit by Crain's Detroit Business. I learned a lot from this leader, and I hope you will too. Roger, we're here today at your newly opened Hartford Village location, which is a fantastic facility. It was fun walking around this morning with you on it. What makes you the most proud of this development?
What makes Hartford Village particularly special is that it serves a market rate population. We do have some affordable housing here, but mostly market rate. Everything we've done up until now had been subsidized housing in the city, and there's a huge need for that. But for people that were retired school teachers and nurses and police officers, they couldn't live in our subsidized housing. So developing Hartford Village has made a big impact in the fact that 20% of the people that moved in here moved from outside the city back to the city of Detroit was real significant.
So those who've worked with you, they really refer to you as an innovator. And it's something that I hear from a number of people that we've talked with. So how has creating that culture of innovation really been a differentiator for you, and how's that led to success?
Well, the culture of innovation within PVM isn't rests with just myself. It's really more pervasive. It comes from board members, it comes from other staff members, it comes from the people we serve, and it's really an openness to looking at things differently and trying to be responsive to what people are looking for today, and then imagining what the needs are going to be for in the future. And so I think not being content with the status quo is real important. I mean, some folks can get real comfortable in kind of how they've done things for 10 years, or in our case 72 years. We're always looking for kind of the next great thing, the next best thing, and how to improve what we already do. So I think it's that culture, that spirit that we've been able to instill among many people to imagine what can be and not just be satisfied with what is.
Yeah, and it sure shows when you see the facility and what you've done here. It really seems to be an innovative type facility. So again, you should be very proud of it.
Thank you. No, we're really happy with it.
A lot of organizations are just dealing with generational issues. I know at Plant Moran we are, where we have multiple generations in the workplace. Do you also see that, and does that impact how you do things here?
Yes, so not only generational differences within the workplace, because we clearly are addressing that and have for a long while, but the generational differences in the people we serve are very significant. So going back to the 40s through probably the 60s, the people that we served were of a generation that were pretty grateful for whatever the organization would provide. Well, kind of fast forward to the generation now, which is much more discerning, wanting many more choices. You could even use the word demanding. So it's not so much about us deciding what is best for the residents and the people we serve, but it's our listening to the customer and really meeting what their expectations are and really looking for ways to exceed their expectations. So huge differences in the generations that we serve.
So it sounds like you have to give them more options. Do you have examples that you could share with us?
Oh, many more options. And so that could be everything from something that might seem rather simple as a dining option. So it used to be in senior communities, you would have maybe just a few choices of what people are going to be able to eat. Now it's a matter of really looking at it as a restaurant style format, and even different venues for where they would eat. So the idea of like a single dining room, also where maybe the dining, the times that the dining rooms were open were fixed. Now they've got to be much more expanded. So there's just so many examples of really catering to the individual needs of the residents.
Yeah, that's interesting. So it's even impacting your business model.
Oh, huge.
Generational changes.
And it will be even more so as we go forward.
So people have often asked me, they've said, well, what advice would you give today to your younger self?
That's
and at other points in your career? What do you know now that you wish you would have known then?
That's a great question. I would advise myself to take action a little quicker, in some cases maybe a lot quicker. I mean, I think reflection and deliberation is all well and good, but at times I've found that when I've done too much of that and then finally come to a decision, wondering, well, why did it take so long to come to that decision? Mm-hmm. So I think kind of quicker decision making, and at times being a little bolder, taking greater risks in certain areas, removing some hesitancy at times. I think oftentimes organizations don't really know what's possible unless they stretch themselves. So I think, being bolder in that regard would be part of the advice I would give myself.
Yeah, it sounds like great advice. A little bit of just making sure you're getting out of your comfort zone, continuing to grow, and making decisions quicker. It's hard in leadership roles at times because it's rare that you have 100% of the information that you'd like to have in order to make a decision.
Like probably never.
Right.
Never.
So a lot of times you're making it with
Right.
80% of what you'd like to have.
Yeah. So being confident to move forward with incomplete information is certainly, I think, a strong advice to anybody in a leadership role.
Technology seems to be impacting virtually every industry that we work with. If you think about the future of PVM and look forward, what role do you think technology will play in your business?
Well, technology is going to be huge in the senior living and aging services field. I mean, it is now, it's just going to be even more so into the future. So we have 15 strategic initiatives across the system. 2 of the 15 relate to technology. Some of that relates to infrastructure, some just basic, wireless capacity, and then the other one really is around the applications that you hang on the infrastructure. And so there's so much new technology that's coming out of the healthcare and the medical care area that is going to enable people to stay longer, maybe forever in their homes and apartments. So the idea of having to move to assisted living or move to a nursing care facility is possibly not going to be as necessary in the future because remote monitoring technology will be able to check in on the individual in a real-time way. I think the ability to link the physicians and the nurses and the therapists remotely to the individual, and I think keeping significant caregivers and family members more in touch with the senior.
Right. Sounds interesting. Sounds like it could potentially really change the future in terms of where people are living, how they're living, and just being able to keep in touch with their loved ones.
And having made those comments about technology, I think kind of the flip side of the technology equation, at least in our field, is that we absolutely do not want to lose the human touch and the dynamic of social interaction, because you could bring so much technology in that would promote social isolation. The people could become shut in and live in a technology kind of cocoon, and that would not be good. And so it's a balance of having the technology, the right kinds of technology, but still have the human dynamics very much at play.
I couldn't agree with you more. It's interesting that you say that, because as for Plant Moran, as we look at technology, our goal really is to combine all the things you can't download from an app. So great culture, great people, great client service with technology. And it sounds like you're doing the same, making sure you stay close to the people, have the relationships, but use technology to enhance what you're doing.
That's right. Technology can be an enabler, but not a substitute for
that's
culture.
Fantastic. That's fantastic. Well, Roger, that's about all the time we have today for questions. I wanted to thank you for taking time to spend with us today. Thank you for the tour of this fantastic facility. Really enjoyed it.
Well, and thank you, Jim, and thank you to Plant Moran for your leadership, not only in our field of aging services and senior living, but for what you do in Michigan and around the country. Your firm has stood for so much, and we've really been pleased to be a partner with you for many, many decades.
Thank you for your kind words.
Welcome.
I hope you enjoyed my discussion with Roger and learned as much from him as I did. I especially appreciated his points of view on not accepting the status quo, diversity in leadership, and using technology without letting it replace the importance of relationships. Thanks for joining us, and check back next month when we'll talk with another leader.